everybody, this is comedian, actor, writer, and proud dyslexic Claude Stewart. Welcome to my mother-in-law's spare room. Guess what? I am going red for dyslexia. That's right, October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, and I'm so glad they went with October and not September, because September is the 9th month, and the number 9 upside down is 6. And to a dyslexic, that's really confusing. So let's go beyond lip service and help our kids read. Join me and IDA as we raise awareness.
Olá pessoal, meu nome é Daiane, estou ficando vermelho por dislexia. Por que você não se junta a nós? Hello, my name is Mariana. This month, I'm going red so others can read. Will you join me?
Hey everyone, don't forget to show your support. Wear red in October for dyslexia.
Hola, soy Santiago. Soy de Costa Rica. I go red for dyslexia.
This is actress, host, comedian, and producer of Simplicity Podcast. That's right, Simplicity Podcast. But for the month of October, we're going red. We're doing what? We are going red for Dyslexia Association, International Dyslexia Association. Join me for the month of October in support of going red. In support of what? Going red for Dyslexia Association. Make sure you join us on October 17th. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And go red, go red, go red. Let's get it, y'all.
Saludos, somos Cristina
Yo soy Abigail.
de Costa Rica. ¿Qué más?
Hey, what's up? My name is Justin Jankowski, and I'm going red so others can read. I hope you'll join me.
We're going red so others can read.
Join us this October for IDA's Go Red for Dyslexia Awareness Month.
Hi, I'm David from El Salvador and I'm wearing red for dyslexia. Will you join me?
Hello everyone, go red for dyslexia so others can read.
Olá, tudo bom? Meu nome é Jorge, eu sou da Costa Rica e este mês eu vou me vestir de vermelho para que outros possam ler. Você quer se unir?
Saludos desde Costa Rica. Mi nombre es Cristina
Hola, mi nombre es Abigail.
y este mes nos vestimos de rojo para ayudar a los niños con dislexia.
Por favor, únete a esta causa.
I'm Aurora.
I'm Rashid, and we are the Savages.
I'm going red.
For dyslexia, will you?
Hola, mi nombre es Silvio y este mes yo apoyo la dislexia. Unámonos por la dislexia.
Hi guys, this is Vanessa.
And Michael Eberhardt. We're going red so others can read.
Would you join us?
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम अनिल है। डिस्लेक्सिया के लिए मैं लाल जोन में हूँ। Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Vanessa y este mes voy de rojo para ayudar a los niños con dislexia. ¿Nos ayudas con esta causa?
Hi guys, this is Raquel from Costa Rica, and this month I'm going red so others can read. Please join me and thank you so much for your support.
Hola, soy Andrea.
Y yo soy Alonso. Y somos de Costa Rica. And we are going red for dyslexia.
So others can read.
Hi guys, my name is Gabriel from Costa Rica, and this month I'm going red for others can read. Please join me in this beautiful event. Thank you.
Hallo zusammen, mein Name ist Colin. Ich trage Rot, weil ich Leute mit Legasthenie unterstütze.
Γεια σας, πάμε κόκκινο τον Οκτώβρη για το dyslexia.
Hi guys, this is Vanessa Eberhardt, and this month I'm going red so others can read. Will you join me? Thank you so much for your support on this event.
Dyslexia so others can read.
Namaste, Nehu Shiba Eberhardt.
Hello, I'm Chris Eberhardt.
And we're going red for dyslexia so that others can read. Will you join us?
Go red for dyslexia so others can read.
In every Australian state and territory, Ausbuild provides support and advocacy to families, intervention for students, and evidence-based training for teachers and education specialists.
This is what ABD has been doing recently. We have developed a phonic, articulatory, and multisensory manual for pedagogical support of dyslexic learners, as well as a watch, a ruler, and a multiplication table.
Japan Dyslexia Research Association, JDRA, is a research association dedicated to research on developmental dyslexia and children's literacy development.
The Center for Child Evaluation and Teaching is a non-profit organization established in 1984. The center was established by a group of women who realized that their children were having difficulty at school.
I'm speaking on behalf of our institution, Universidad de La Laguna. This group has contributed to knowledge transfer to the educational sector by working closely with the educational administration of the government of the Canary Islands.
Hi, I'm Professor Xu Jinli. I'm the member of Taiwan Academy of Learning Disability. Our members are most of educators and some of the medical doctors and the therapists.
Anjali Morris Foundation in India has completed 10 years. It's now focusing on helping schools to set up their own resource center.
We realized that we needed a platform, and the platform was to register an organization, and that's how Dyslexia Organization was registered.
Project Difference se creó ante la necesidad que tienen todos los colegios de poder detectar de forma temprana. Cuanto antes detectemos que un niño necesita aprender de forma diferente, antes podrá alcanzar sus objetivos curriculares y su bienestar emocional.
Dyslexia Association of Ireland was formed in 1972. We are the only national representative and advocacy organisation for dyslexia in Ireland. We have over 30 affiliated nationwide community branches providing weekly workshop classes for over 1,100 children with dyslexia.
In Singapore, as with all over the world, we believe in embracing dyslexia. It is not about focusing on the weaknesses of those with dyslexia, it's about focusing and developing their strengths.
Our aim is to ensure that all children experience the joy of becoming strong readers and writers.
One aim of JDRA is to increase public awareness on developmental dyslexia and to educate practitioners.
The organisation that Phyllis and Nancy have is paramount to be able to not just educate the children but to educate the parents.
One of the main objectives of the group is to provide answers to a number of questions such as how can we achieve an early identification of dyslexia?
Nuestro objetivo fundamental es poder formar y dar pautas a los profesores para que ellos sean capaces de trabajar dentro del aula con esta diversidad de la escuela inclusiva.
Our organization is going to promote the education research and the government policy making for the students with learning disabilities.
In Singapore, we have been most fortunate that our government and industry partners have been most supportive, and this has allowed us to create and deliver a comprehensive and holistic range of programs and services for the benefits of our clients with dyslexia.
Ananya is a Sanskrit word with the meaning uniqueness. We started the Dyslexia Association in 1992. In Tamil Nadu alone, 20 million children go to school. 2 million children have this difficulty. They had nowhere to go. That's where we thought an arrangement like Ananya should be very helpful to them.
At the Maharashtra Dyslexia Association, we are committed to building an integrated support system for people with dyslexia.
At MDA, we use evidence-based programs like the multisensory structured language interventions, and we offer year-round training for professionals in the use of these programs.
We work tirelessly to improve literacy and numeracy outcomes for all struggling students and adults.
The Centre is also involved in the standardization of Arabic tests and intervention programs for children with learning disabilities.
AMF is also conducting research with the help of Dr. Roland Good and Dr. Ruth Kamensky from University of Oregon in developing curriculum-based measures in Marathi, that's one of the native languages in India.
We offer a complete assessment done by a multidisciplinary team and social service for the students from the public schools. We have an international research and reference center. Lectures, workshops, and conferences are held through the year.
Every year we have an annual conference. We invite distinguished researchers in the relevant areas as keynote speakers. Members also present their own research papers.
Y por último, a final de curso hacemos unas jornadas internacionales con el objetivo de inspirar y ampliar el campo de visión sobre las diferencias de aprendizaje.
We see time and time again the massive transformational impact that individuals experience when their dyslexia is properly identified and they get the right kind of support.
Academia is about prescribing solutions to society. And we need to focus more on research about these challenges. We are proud of people like Madam Munyi who have gone ahead to identify this challenge.
We are very happy to share that AMF has received its institutional accreditation by IDA recently.
We hope that we could build a sharing platform and a multidisciplinary cooperative team for LD education in Taiwan and with the IDA global partners too.
Our institution, Universidad de La Laguna, is honored to be a member of the IDA, and we are delighted to be a part of this worldwide community.
We are very proud to be a GP from IDA.
The Dyslexia Association of Singapore is pleased to be a member of the International Dyslexia Association's global partners. We hope that through this platform, we're able to share, support, and encourage each other as we reach out to people with dyslexia all over the world. We hope that through the global partners, we'll be able to learn and bring back best practices to Singapore.
My name is Josh Clark, and I am honored to be the incoming chair of the International Dyslexia Association. When not involved with IDA, I am also the head of school of the Skank School, which is an independent school in Atlanta that specializes in students with dyslexia. My journey and involvement with dyslexia is very personal, as I grew up as an undiagnosed dyslexic learner, and I had a lot of struggles in school. I always say that I loved to learn, but I really hated school. And it wasn't until many years later, as I went down through my own professional career, as I had my own children, that I came to realize that a lot of those struggles, a lot of those frustrations associated with school were because of my undiagnosed dyslexia. And here I am today, and I'm so honored and proud and excited to be so involved in the dyslexic community. And even more so, I'm excited, honored, and immensely proud to be the father of two incredible dyslexic children. I have a 5th grade son and a 2nd grade daughter who are both dyslexic, who again, I'm very excited and feel very privileged that I'm able to offer them support and guidance and all the things that they need so they can have a different journey with their dyslexia than I did mine.
I'm Jennifer Topple, and I am the outgoing board chair for the International Dyslexia Association. I am a speech-language pathologist by training and am the director of language, literacy, and assistive technology at the Howard School in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a K-12 school for kids with language-based learning disabilities and learning differences. As you can imagine, we've got many children at the Howard School who have dyslexia. And I kind of got involved in dyslexia specifically because I started the assistive technology department at Howard and was really starting to be able to work with kids across the school who were super bright kids and very capable and just were kind of discouraged and locked out of learning sometimes because decoding was very difficult for them. And were underestimated regularly too because they weren't able to express their thoughts in writing very, very well because of dyslexia. And so I really developed a huge passion for these kids because they've got so much to offer and so much to give, and they often aren't able to reach their full potential because they are locked out of what we currently do for school, which is mostly hinged on reading and writing. I also am very passionate about the work that IDA is doing because I worked for a school where kids' families knew what was going on and could bring them here. And I feel like we have got a responsibility to get this correct teaching to all of these kids who are out there who may not even have a diagnosis like Josh, or you know, their families don't have the means to get them special tutoring or get them to a special school. And again, they are not realizing their full potential. And I really hope that the work that IDA is doing will get them there.
Hi, my name is Jared Blank. Really excited to be here for the Go Red for Dyslexia Soiree. I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was 5, and so I've really felt a responsibility to this community and bringing awareness.
Hey, this is Claude Stewart here for the red carpet interview, even though I look like I'm renting a room from the Tiger King. Hi, my name is Claude Stewart. I'm a comedian, writer, actor, and proud dyslexic. So, a little bit about me and my dyslexic journey. I didn't find out I was dyslexic until the 8th grade. It was my 31st birthday. My 13th birthday. It's true though. Before that, I just knew my reading comprehension was off. I didn't know why, but my reading comprehension was 3 times slower than the average student. And I just remember my dad always telling me, my father would say, son, you're dyslexic, so you got to work 3 times as hard as the average kid. So because of that, I worked 1/3 as hard, and now I blame my mom. But I was fortunate enough to go to a dyslexic boarding school. It was actually called the Gal School. It was in the East Aurora, South Wales part of New York. And they did a wonderful job of catering to my specific learning challenges. They taught me drive, discipline, organization. It was really amazing. And I applied all of it, and I can honestly say I graduated 3rd in my class. That's right, I graduated 3rd in my class out of 4. But nevertheless, it was an accomplishment. In college, I applied everything I learned at boarding school, and it worked out beautifully. I would get out of class, go back to my room, immediately do my homework, and then I would have my nights free. I mean, sure, my friends would make fun of me, but I tell you what, they sure weren't laughing when they were stressing out at the last minute, cramming for their test, and I was kicking back watching a movie. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I've got some responses, some questions here that have been sent in to me. I actually went to, for college, I went to SMU, which technically stands for Southern Methodist University. But I'll be honest, it should stand for sex, money, and underwear. Oh, yeah. But no, SMU actually has an excellent communications program, and that's what I studied, specifically radio and TV. And I don't know, I worked really hard, and somehow I graduated with a 3.3 grade point average. And if you think about it, 3.3 is the ultimate score you can get if you're dyslexic, right? Think about it. It's frontwards and backwards. Same number, both ways. 3.3. I don't care how dyslexic you are. You can't screw it up. I started performing comedy in college, actually. I interned at a radio station. It was called Z-Rock. And it was a hard rock radio station. It was broadcast to 35 different cities throughout the country, which was awesome. But because I was a non-paid college intern, I wasn't technically supposed to be on the air. But fortunately, the DJ I worked with, he thought I was funny. And he said to me, you know, kid, if you run across the hall and call me on the back line as some weirdo, no one's going to know it's you. So I did. I took him up on it, and I started calling on, like, every morning I would call the DJ on the back line as these weird characters, and nobody knew it was me, just me and the DJ. Keep in mind, this is like the early mid-90s, and to give you an example, I would do impressions. H. Ross Perot was running for president. For those of you who don't remember, he was an independent. He was this crazy Texan billionaire. He talked like an auctioneer on a triple espresso. And so he would call in and say things like, hey, nah, you with me? You follow me? He would always end every sentence by going, nah, you with me? You follow me? And then he would say, listen, my economic plan is hot. It is so hot, it's hotter than 2 jackrabbits wrestling in a wool sock at the edge of the equator in Zimbabwe during a volcanic eruption on the 4th of July. Nah, you with me? You follow me? Crazy stuff like that. My characters actually became surprisingly popular on the morning show, and then the boss found out. Yeah, he called me into his office one morning, and he goes, Claude, I know it's you. I know you're the voice behind all those weirdos that keep calling in. So guess what happens now? And I just knew I was going to get fired. I said, I think I have an idea what's going to happen, sir. Just say it. And he looked at me and said, well, I want you to co-write and co-host the morning show. And just like that, I became part of Sharkman and the Dirt Clod in the morning. The Dirt Clod. Unfortunately, I had no control over my new nickname. But it was really cool. We kind of took off. And the DJ, pretty soon, he got fired because he was doing Howard Stern-esque shenanigans. And then I just focused on my college career. But I started doing stand-up, and I incorporated my radio bits into my stand-up routine and instantly became addicted. My senior year of college, I won the funniest person at SMU contest. It was the very first one. I was the only person in the contest. All the other contestants had a mysterious accident right before. No, I'm kidding. There were actually a good number of students. Somehow I won, and the judge happened to be a professional comedian, and he told me I should seriously pursue it. So I did. I moved to LA. I got 4 different part-time jobs. I never had a day off. Oh man. And then on nighttime, whenever it was night, I just got up on stage as much as I could and just try to meet people and create as many opportunities for success as possible. Eventually, I started doing, tours. I toured the country. I started touring the world, and I doing stand-up. And then I began acting and writing for commercials, television, and movies. Somehow, I've been able to maintain a career for the last 25 years, and man, I got to be honest, I don't take any of these things for granted. I am so thankful and so grateful and so lucky of every success I've ever had. But honestly, bottom of my heart, what I appreciate the most about comedy and my career is I absolutely love what I do. And that means more to me than anything.
Hi, my name is Laderick Horn. I am an advocate for people with disabilities and a performance poet. A little bit about myself. I was first diagnosed with having a learning disability when I was in the 3rd grade. And it was from there on that I spent the rest of my education in special education classes. It left me with a lot of feelings of not being as smart as everybody else, not as good as everybody else. But I was fortunate that I have a very supportive family, and I had a very good IEP team that recommended that I continue my education and do that at a local county college, where I was able to take advantage of a support program for students with learning disabilities. And it took 3 schools and 7 years, but I was able to eventually graduate with a BA in mathematics, and I minored in fine art. And during my last semester at New Jersey City University, I was sort of recruited by the New Jersey Department of Education's Office of Special Education to begin doing and supporting work around empowering young people with disabilities here in the state of New Jersey. And so I did that work here in state for 2 years, and then began working and connecting with organizations and agencies doing this sort of work on a national level. And so now I do a lot of teacher in services. I speak at a lot of conferences, do a lot of workshops. And I really think just the focus of my work is around making this world a better place for people with disabilities.
Hey, hello, everybody. My name is Jake Sussman. I am the founder of Superpower Consulting, a global mentorship firm designed to build confidence around the way kids learn with dyslexia and ADHD. Now, what's my story? Who am I? It all started in 3rd grade, where I was I was told I was a behavioral problem in class, especially during independent reading time. The buddy teacher was my best friend, not really, and I was sent to the principal's office almost all the time because I wasn't being reached. I was told that communication will be one of my biggest challenges, and so will reading. Let's go up on to 6th grade, where I was 3 grade levels behind in reading now, forced to read out loud in class, and then I was told I would never go to college, and continuing to be reminded that communication will always be challenging for me. I also couldn't complete any sentences because I had no confidence socially. Okay, let's keep going. Now, my parents pulled me out of school. And it was one of the lowest points in my life. Can you imagine being so misunderstood, just wanting to be seen, and a school rejecting to look past your behavioral problems? That's what happened to me. So I got pulled out, and I went on this path of self-discovery. Who is Jake Sussman? To make a super long story short, middle school, high school, wanting to know who I am. How do I learn? What makes this the best way possible? I end up graduating college in communication. That was my biggest passion. The very thing that I was told that I will always struggle in. Not only did I graduate college in communication, but I launched a company to help others learn how to communicate better. This is what it's all about.
I think dyslexia awareness is so important on multiple levels, but even most so when we think about in terms of an individual level, but also on a level in terms of our entire society. So on this individual level, we have these brilliant, capable, smart, hardworking students who are sitting in a classroom who know that they are struggling. They know they're having a hard time, but they don't understand the origins or the understanding of it. And so often their only option is to create a narrative that's self-destructive. Their only option is to understand their difficulties through a lens of kind of limitations of their own capabilities, or to identify as it's something that they are causing themselves, or so on and so forth. And when I think about that, when I think about those bright, capable students sitting in that classroom, it absolutely breaks my heart. And I think it's so important that we do all we can to ensure that students no longer have to feel that way. At the same time, I think dyslexia awareness is so important on this larger societal level. And that's because while we think about these individual students that are struggling and we want to intervene on their behalf, I think we also have to keep in mind that we as a society, we as a community are missing so much advancement, so much contribution, so much that these individuals have to offer, again, because on an individual level, they are not given the opportunity, not given the pathways to reach their full potential, which cumulatively affects all of us, because again, we have bright, capable young people who are never given the opportunity to advance our world, to show all that they are capable of doing, which only adversely affects all of us.
So why is dyslexia awareness so important? It is so important on so many levels. I think that my personal experience working with these children who have been in school systems where they come to us and they believe that they are not capable of anything because they were not able to do school the way it was delivered to them. And I think working with them to kind of, children are born curious. They're born to be learners. They want to participate in the world. And when reading gets in the way of that, and all of a sudden they're locked out of a part of the world, it can be very devastating. And you see a lot of emotional walls you have to break down. They say, you know, I hate reading. I'm not a reader, and really they can be. And it opens up an entire new world to them. I mean, I think I saw it from a little bit of a different side because I was able to introduce them to assistive technology where they were able to have books read to them where they could follow along and be independent readers. They weren't relying on their parents or someone to read to them. And they were able to read like the Harry Potter that all their friends were reading and be able to participate in those conversations that they weren't able to before. I believe that that's where we are right now, but where the awareness will take us in the future is maybe those kids won't have to ever go through that time of questioning their abilities and questioning themselves. If they get the correct instruction when they start school, they won't have to experience failure. I also think, you know, to piggyback on what Josh said, societally, we are paying a huge price by not recognizing dyslexia and remediating it. We know that there are many people in our prison system who are dyslexic or cannot read, don't have a diagnosis, maybe didn't have the resources to even get an assessment or a diagnosis. And there are so many people that are not only not being contributing members to our society as they would be able to and would desire to. There are people that are very smart and capable and are ending up in our prison system because they're not able to make it in society without being able to read.
Now, here's a very important question I've been asked. Ladies and gentlemen, why is dyslexia awareness so important? Great question. Well, it's pretty simple on my end. None of my accomplishments nor my entire career would have ever been remotely possible if I didn't have the right teachers who understood my learning challenges and taught me how to overcome them. And that's precisely why dyslexia awareness is so important. I mean, look, it's also really important to understand that you'll always be dyslexic, but you can learn to overcome it. Make the most of it. absolutely. And this is a true story. I was actually preparing a speech that I was going to give at a school about dyslexia. And this, I can't believe I did this. Instead of writing that my teachers nurtured and tutored me, I accidentally wrote my teachers tortured and neutered me. Yeah. So trust me, you'll always have dyslexia, but you learn to overcome it. But here's the deal. Bottom line, look, I went from like really struggling with reading and writing to sorry, here we go. I hope you guys edit this. All right, look out. This is true. I went from really struggling with reading and writing and apparently speaking to take 3. Here we go. I really went. I swear to you, I went from struggling with reading and writing and speaking to writing for a popular TV show. And I ended up getting more jokes on the air on that TV show than any other member of the staff in the program's history. And the reason I'm telling you this, it's not to brag. The reason is this. I want all the dyslexic children and their parents out there to know that if I can find something that I truly love to do and excel at it, then trust me, you can too. And that's my lesson here with this question. Look, if you truly love what you do, you always do a better job, 100%. And I learned this valuable lesson through the power of dyslexic awareness.
I am really glad that we are taking this opportunity to build awareness and to celebrate dyslexia. I think it's important because I remember being a young person and feeling like I was very alone, like I really didn't understand who I was or how my mind worked. And more than anything, I felt like I was like the only person going through this. And so it's great that we are breaking that silence. I firmly believe that silence isn't golden. And so, we have to be open about what dyslexia is, both so that our young people can understand the challenges that they're facing, but also so that they can get the supports that they need. And I also think that it's important that we build this awareness because I firmly believe that people who learn differently and people with disabilities more generally, that there is so much good and innovation that comes from our population. And it's important that our policymakers and our educators and families and healthcare professionals, that they all realize that although you may be seeing a young person now, or even an adult who is showing some challenges and, in some areas of their lives, that given the right supports, this person can not only perform at the same level as everyone else, but in many cases can be extraordinary. So I think that's why it's really important that we build awareness for dyslexia.
Now, why is dyslexia awareness so important? Number 1 in 5 people have it. Number 2, many people go their life thinking that they're stupid. Well, what if through dyslexia awareness, they're able to have a breakthrough realizing that they're not stupid. It's just that they learn in a very unique way. And that's why their challenges were happening. And number 3, dyslexia awareness means improvement in literacy education. Absolutely. My friends, we're in a national literacy crisis today. It's 2020, which means we're looking towards the future. How are we supposed to teach our next generation of Americans, of our youth, if we're functionally illiterate? Dyslexia awareness means improvement in literacy. That is very, very important.
We launched the book Running the Distance, and all the sale proceeds are going back to the International Dyslexia Association, and we got some things coming later this fall with an ebook and audiobook, as well as some cool gear, so watch out for that. And again, really excited to be participating tonight, and just thank everyone for the opportunity.
What have I been up to lately? Wonderful question. I would say I have been up to running a school in the middle of a pandemic, which is quite an experience. I've learned a ton. But I have to tell you, one of the things that has been fascinating to me, that's been helpful and enlightening, despite all of kind of the horrible things that we are experiencing, associated, rightfully so, with COVID, always trying to look for that silver lining. And one of those things for me is coming to understand just the capacity, the capability, and the determination of students, right? So here we are in this middle of this pandemic. Here we are at my school working with anyone from kindergarten age to 6th grade, all relatively young, some in person, some online, and trying to navigate all of this. And these young people, regardless of what we throw at them, regardless of the circumstances, are finding ways to make it work. They are so resilient, which is just so impressive and inspiring to me. And I have to say the same for our teachers, not just at the Skank School, but our teachers across the country, across the world right now, again and again and again, despite these immense difficulties, what we are witnessing is people who are determined to find a way to continue the mission, continue their work. And again, despite all the hardships that we're facing right now, I also think that is a narrative that is inspiring and important.
Okay, what have I been up to lately? Well, wearing a mask all the time, working behind plexiglass, social distancing, all of those things. But I think that, as I said, I work at a school and we are delighted to be together. We were all virtual in the spring, and I do feel like that time was a growing time for all of us as well. I think that as an educational system, we all got taken out of our comfort zones with all the technology that we had at our fingertips before the pandemic, but weren't forced to use them. And so in some ways, the silver linings that I saw with that is, maybe there were kids or teachers who might have been a little bit more resistant to using some of their technology that helps them. And when we went into the quarantine, we were really forced to use a lot of that. And I think so that would be something that is a positive. I think we've had to be very creative about how we're educating students and how they're participating in classes. And I will say, to echo what Josh said, the kids and the teachers are extremely resilient, and it's not easy for anyone. But they're wearing their masks, they are social distancing, and they're just really pleased to be back in the building with us. And so, I think there's no great place for anyone right now, but I think making the best of what we've got. And I feel like the speech pathologists and literacy specialists, my department, we have become a lot closer through all of this. And I think we've really refined what best practices are, because it's really been kind of crystallized for us during this time.
My answer. Now, I've also been sent this in real quick. Oh, very simple. What have you been up to lately? Okay, I'll tell you what I've been up to lately. For the last 3.5 years, I've been writing for the hit comedy game show Funny You Should Ask. You can check it out on FYSA.TV. I've been writing for Funny You Should Ask. It's an awesome comedy game show. It has huge celebrities on there. A lot of the stars are Howie Mandel, Louis Anderson, John Lovitz, Tiffany Haddish, Whitney Cummings. It's really fun. I've been doing that for the last 3.5 years. And very recently, I just wrote for the NBC comedy benefit called Feeding America. And it had huge stars on there. Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, just to name a few. It was a fantastic experience. And the best part about it, we raised enough money to feed 16 million hungry Americans. That was awesome. The show that I currently write for, Funny You Should Ask, is on hiatus. They recently went on hiatus this summer. So ever since that happened, honestly, I've been writing my own projects. I wrote a TV pilot and 3 movies, and I just started my 4th movie. Hey, you know what they say, quantity, not quality. And I also do a lot of Zoom comedy shows, specifically for comedy clubs, corporate events, and for schools, specifically schools with students who have learning challenges. I'm Claude Stewart. That's been my story. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great night.
Now, what's going on today? What am I doing? Number one, I built a global mentorship firm in the middle of a pandemic to help bring light and inspiration to kids and young adults from 7 to 23 years old to build confidence around how they learn. They're not looking at their challenges, but looking at their strengths. By connecting them to someone who can share and bond on an emotional level and a physical level. To not just say, I understand what you're saying, but to actually say, I've been there. We work with over 40 kids from all over the world, and it's been an amazing journey. Number three, we've launched a unique scholarship offering our mentorship services to families in need, especially those in the most at-risk communities. You see, making mentorship available for all is so important because we're not here to fix. We're here to be with. We're here to connect, to build a relationship because we've been there. And what else am I doing? Well, my mission is to build a generation of master self-advocates. Because we can invest all the resources we want in literacy, but if our kids are not open to learning and being able to articulate how they learn to those who don't understand, well, come on, we got work to do. So with that being said, happy Dyslexia Awareness Month, and please stay alert.
Recently, some of the things that I've been up to, I think during this whole pandemic, my number one job is really just to stay healthy, so making sure that I'm, using hand sanitizer, washing my hands, wearing a face mask when I'm out in public, and just doing all that I can to make sure that physically and mentally I am well. But during the sort of first few weeks of the pandemic, like all the conferences and events that I was going to speak at, they all shut down. But as of lately, I've been very, very busy. It seems like I've been shooting a video or jumping on Zoom every day or every other day. And so it really makes me glad to see that the work continues, even though we're having to connect in very different ways now. On a real good note, a couple weeks ago, I celebrated my birthday. My birthday is on September 30th. And so that was really awesome. We had a little get together here at the house. But I also used my birthday as an opportunity to build awareness for dyslexia. I used it as an opportunity to raise funds for the Rare Gem Talent School, which is a boarding school for dyslexic students in Kenya. I was fortunate that last year in 2019, I was able to visit the school in Kenya. I spent 6 days there hanging out with the staff and meeting the kids. And so as part of my celebration, I used it as an opportunity to give back. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can just check me out on Facebook or Instagram. And if you scroll through back to September 30th, you'll see a post and a video I made with more information. And, I've been writing through all of this, right? Just doing my best to ground myself in art and using art to just sort of articulate my feelings and hopefully bring some understanding about the times in which we live in. But that's me. And if you're interested in connecting with me, if I can be of any service to any of you out there, again, just type my name in social media, but you can also go to my website, which is lederick.com, and that's LEDERICK.com. All right. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share and celebrate this month of dyslexic awareness with you.
I feel so stupid. No one understands me. I'm a failure. I'll never amount to anything, so why keep trying? I feel so alone. No child should have to suffer from thoughts like these. Yet, for many children, dyslexia is not just a reading issue. It's an emotional and social issue that often contributes to low self-esteem and a sense of hopelessness. Greetings. I'm Sonja Banks, CEO of the International Dyslexia Association, also known as IDA. And on behalf of our board of directors, member branches, global partners, and the many advocates that support our efforts, I'd like to say Happy Awareness Month and welcome to our virtual Red Soiree. At IDA, we believe that reading is every child's civil right, and it's up to all of us to make sure that all children have the opportunity to flourish. With family and community support, access to the best resources, and effective reading instruction, our children can learn to read and live out their dreams. We need you to support this call to action. We need you to take a stand and become a voice for those impacted that feel they do not have a voice. So this afternoon, please enjoy yourselves. Laugh with the comedians, dance and sing with the entertainment, party with the DJs, lip sync with our community, learn from our advocates, and most importantly, please share what you learn with others and give to your heart's content.